does the all publicity is good publicity management, so reputation. So I think that the notion of all publicity is good publicity is kind of a hot debate at the moment. You know, look at Katie Hopkins, the wonderful woman, and her opinions on, well, pretty much everything. What is interesting with her is that she's an abhorrent, vile human being. But what she has done is use that mantra to prove that there is such a thing as good publicity, because I'm sure that she has earned more money in the last year by being this sort of magnet for negative publicity, and made it hold true in terms of commercial opportunities. She's positioned herself as this contrary spokesperson, and has a very good manager, I'm sure. For brands though, no, you know, I think that, again, one of the amazing things about social media and the democratizing nature of that means that when brands do let consumers down, it all happens in public. I think that there is a hangover from the early days of social marketing where brands are kind of very, very scared to fail in public. I think in some respects, failing in the right way can actually turn a negative into a positive. One of my favourite examples is when O2 had the network outage a few years ago and were bombarded by vitriol from customers. Very, very offensive language, just bile and rage fundamentally. And they took the decision to not just respond with the stock answer and respond with personality and have a bit of banter back. And that's a lovely example of how a brand can turn a really negative situation into a positive. By the way that they coped with that and the way that they dealt with that by solving customer service issues in public and realizing that customer service is content, it is brand marketing. They put as much thought into those responding tweets as they did with their sort of their traditional social content. I think that really turned things around for them. Can fans give a brand a reputation? Well, yeah. I mean, the double-edged sword of social is that if you are a very hated brand, you can attract negativity from all sorts of individuals. And again, because everyone is connected, those individuals can connect together to create this angry mob mentality and then sort of attack you. But I think fundamentally, I do believe that people actually give brands a bit more credit than perhaps us marketers think and perhaps our clients think. There is not an angry mob outside a brand's headquarters if they misspell a word on a tweet, or if they perhaps have a problem with their customer service processes. I think as long as you respond in a really thoughtful, apologetic, but also a message that's sort of on brand, and perhaps if possible a little bit of creativity and a little bit of a nod and a wink, then perhaps you can turn that negative into a positive. Can lasting damage be done to a brand? Yes, of course. I think that some of the negativity that around the example that we've kind of discussed, US Airways, is going to permanently damage their reputation. But then again, you think back to Dell a few years ago in terms of their turnaround. They were absolutely one of the most hated brands in the world, but then all of a sudden, by having a rethink, really involving their customers in terms of product development, being really transparent in terms of the way they were thinking, the way they were operating, and having a really good focus in terms of customer services, they began to shift that personality around. So it can create lasting damage, absolutely, but there are very clear precedents for brands that have used the power of digital and social to turn that around and make that better.